Lasermate, eject, operation, channel intro.
Hello fellow YouTubers, LEGO EWC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old. And today I'm kicking off a series. I'm going to be ranking 290 plus Ninjago characters. That's going to be a real interesting event. So what I'm planning on doing is splitting these up across a couple videos. And I'm going to try to stay roughly within 15-minute range for each video, depending how long this takes. But it's probably going to go a little over. I mean, obviously between my intro and my outro and me explaining it at the beginning. But like I said, I'm going to try to stay within that range. So I have a few different tier spots here. First off, I have Love, obviously my favorite characters. I really like characters that I do really enjoy. Characters that I like they're not amazing, but I like them. I have Just Fine, where it's a character I don't really feel too strongly one way or the other about them. That I don't really care about, which are the characters I don't care about. I have Could Use Some Work, which is characters that I don't like, but maybe with some tweaking, I could like them more. And I have Who, just in case there's some characters here okay, I don't remember who that is. They have Kill Them Now, which are characters with no redeeming qualities that I just never want to see again. Okay, so starting things off, getting off to a good start, starting off with Jay, who is obviously my favorite. I've said it many times because as a kid, I liked him just because he was the funny one, but now as I've gotten older, I just realized he's just the one I have a lot in common with. He tries to be the one who lightens the mood with a joke, but sometimes he just gets frustrated and just needs to complain and vent about situations. That's kind of how I am. So, I really like Jay. He's my favorite and probably always will be. Kai. Kai is going up in really like. I have always liked him, but he's never been my favorite character. Yes, he's cool and he's funny and he's a bit into himself, but that's not always a bad thing. He's got an ego, but that's okay. So I really like him, but just not my favorite. Cole. I really like Cole. I don't know what it is. There's just something about him that just makes him really endearing and likable. Zane, of course, has pretty much always, for the longest time, has been my second favorite. Even if I feel his character has taken a bit of a nosedive in recent years, because he's kind of been reduced to comic relief more recently. That's how Alright, bump my desk. He's been reduced to comic relief recently, which I don't really like. But he's still cool. He's naive, yet he's really intelligent, which is interesting, really. But yeah, he's just cool. Pun intended, I guess. Nia, that's obviously an interesting evolution with her. She's one of my favorites now, but obviously when I was a kid, I'm a guy, so back when I was a kid, I was a little more sexist and didn't like the female characters. That's just how I was, but I do also think she has just become a better character in recent years. Particularly, I think, Season 8 onwards for me is where she became better. It's like on my recent rewatch, I still just cannot stand her at all in Ninjroids. What I didn't understand about her character was that, especially in Skybound, when she was getting all upset saying that she didn't have any say in the decisions she made, which I wouldn't really mind if it weren't for the fact that in Nindroid, she let that machine tell her that Cole was her perfect match. I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense. But like I said, in the more recent seasons, we're seeing more of her personality. Just seeing more, her show more emotions, and so yeah, now she's a way better character. Woo! Yeah, he's going up in really like. Again, his character took a bit of a nosedive when he was just kind of a cranky old guy, but thankfully he got out of that funk in Master of the Mountain. So, that was really nice. There are some things that he's done that have frustrated me, like he just felt he had to take on a Chronix on his own. And he knew about that just all that time and never said anything. But he's still a cool guy. Same for Garmadon. I think he's really cool. Yes, maybe he's a little annoying in Nindroids when he was constantly questioning Wu's teachings, but in Tournament of Elements he was cool. And of course, as a villain, he's really cool. It was always interesting with him as a villain how he just couldn't help his desires for evil, but at the same time he didn't want to hurt his Misako, or what, like he had no problem with hurting Wu apparently, but his brother. But of course, part of that is because he blamed him, I think, for getting bitten by the Great Devourer. And I'm looking forward to him finally making a return in Crystallized. That should be interesting. Misako. This is a bit of a hot take. I don't like her. It's not. No one really seems to talk about this. It's not that she had to leave Wood. I get it. It was a perilous journey doing research. Why did she leave him at an evil school? That makes no sense. She should have left him with Wu. I just don't understand it. So, she could use some work. I don't hate her, but I don't like her. Lloyd. He goes up and really like... He did have an interesting arc where he started out as just a bratty kid, but now he's the more... Well, for a little while anyway, he was kind of the more grounded of the ninja. He took over as leader. But I was just recently thinking about it. It would have been better if we'd seen Lloyd go through some sort of redemption arc before he became the Green Ninja. That would have been a lot better. It would have felt more earned. But he's still cool, even if more recently I feel like his character has become a little bland. He feels like he's kind of just there. But I still really like him. Same for Pixel. I think she's pretty cool. Let me see. Yeah, I think up and really like. She did also have a pretty good arc where we saw her become more like Zane, in the sense she had more emotions and cared about others and that kind of thing. So, she's cool. I like her. Dareth. I know there's some people who just hate him with a fiery passion. I don't feel too strongly one way or the other. He's fine. Sometimes he's cool. Sometimes he's annoying. In Seabound, he was pretty cool, actually, because he was helping people get off the bus when it was going underwater. But all in all, he's just fine. Skylar. She's always been pretty cool. We haven't seen her a whole lot. I am hoping that Crystallized, if this isn't the last season of Ninjago, that she starts to become more of a series regular. Because people really like shipping Kai and Skylar. I mean, I get it. I do think there is a mutual like for each other there, but we're not really seeing it fleshed out very much, so I hope that we do get to see that more eventually. Right now, it's just like they just kind of like each other, and then that's really all we know. Yeah, she's a cool character. Obviously, Amber's a really neat ability where she can absorb people's powers, and seeing where she was a little conflicted at first, which is pretty hard to remember because now I do almost forget that she used to be kind of on the bad side, but she was just doing what Chen told her. That was her father. So, cool character. I like her. Alright. Jay's parents, or at least his adoptive, I guess that is just the story now. Like or really like? So they definitely go in the same tier. I hate to crowd up one spot, but I really like them. I think they're really funny and they're very supportive and likable. I think they're fun. Okay, then there's Jay's apparently blood parents. I don't really care much about them. We don't know much about them. They just left him and we're not fully sure why. Apparently his dad was an actor. Alright. Kayania's parents. Maya is going to go and really like. We didn't really see her for a little while. But we saw her in Seabound. Yeah, she was pretty likable in that. Ray, I'm just going to put him in like right now. We didn't really get to see him fleshed out as much in Seabound as we did with Maya. But he's still likable. Then there's Cole's dad, who I'm gonna put him in like. We haven't seen him as much, but we've seen he's became pretty supportive dad and everything. But like I said, we just haven't really seen him as much as some of the others' parents, in an impactful way. We haven't seen Kai and Mia's parents much either, but I feel like they had more of an impact. Cole's mother, I'll put her in like. Again, we don't really know much about her, but she seemed like she was alright. I mean, she seemed cool and like she was a caring person, but like I said, don't know a whole lot about her. Then there's this guy who I think turned against the Elemental Masters, if I remember correctly in the flashback. So, I don't care about him. Zane's dad. I'm so bummed that we didn't really get to see more of him, because I really liked him. He was intelligent, and he was just so funny and likable. I was so bummed that they brought him back and then killed him off again. Because I really liked him. He was very entertaining. Echo Zane. I'll put him in like, because again, we didn't really see him a whole lot. We just saw him in Skybound, which technically hasn't even happened. Didn't happen. They got erased from existence, but he seemed pretty cool. Now, there is a possible thing they're going to do. If you don't know about this scrapped idea, there was an interesting idea they had that relates to him and Mr. E. And that's all I'm going to say. And hopefully we'll get that expanded on it. They'll expand on that in Crystallized. Alright, then we have the Falcon, who, once again, I put in like. I don't really feel like we have too much of an established personality with him. But he's fine. We have Tidy, who I am going to put in like because he was pretty funny. But I don't really know a whole lot about him. And there's this robot, not really personality or anything, so just a sentry. Don't know much about him. Then same for this ice guy. Don't know much about him. Mailman. He's fine. Doesn't really do a whole lot necessarily, but he doesn't really have to. But yeah, he's fine. Mistake. Now, this is an interesting case, because at one time, I probably would have just put her in fine or don't really care about, because she was just kind of a cranky old woman who ran a tea shop. But then it's just like for the Oni trilogy, you just thought, let's do something with her. Let's make her more interesting. And I'm putting her up in really like, because we found out more things about her. She was an Oni. And she was more than just a cranky old woman. She was very wise. And I liked her. So, she's up in really like now. Ronin, he could use some work. He's kind of like, I mean, personality-wise, he acts a little bit more like Han Solo, but just in terms of his actions, he's a lot more like Hondo from Clone Wars. The Clone Wars, not to confuse it. Because he's just constantly shifting allegiances. Just to the highest bidder. Looks like we might see him in Crystallized also. Alright, probably last one for this video. Cyrus Borg. Put him at the top of like. I don't really feel like I wouldn't put him up with really like, but he's still likable. He's a really smart guy, and he's cool and pretty fun. I still wish we'd get a minifigure of him. Him and Zane's dad, whose name is actually Julian. We don't really know that. We didn't really know that from the show, but those are two characters that I'm just really bummed we don't have minifigures of. And actually Mistake, now that I think about it. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up part 1. I'm looking forward to going through this. I'm not sure how many parts this is going to be. This could take a while, though. This is up to date with Seabound, so yeah, it's going to be a while, because this includes main characters and very minor characters, and then some that are even less than minor. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it, and let me know who your favorite and least favorite Ninjago characters are in the comments. And, as always, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and God bless.